Am I the asshole for calling my fiancé a jerk? My 28F fiancé, 38M, proposed to me last week. We've been dating for 2 years. He has a 15-year daughter from a previous marriage. Her mom passed again 5 years ago and I have a 6-year son. When my fiancé and I started to date, I noticed that his daughter had the master bedroom. I found it weird because I've never seen a child taking over the master bedroom before, but he brushed it off saying that the house was hers, so it was normal she slept there, with no further explanation. I thought he meant as an inheritance from when he passed away, which still was weird because he was alive. But either way, I didn't say anything because we were only beginning and I knew it wasn't my business. Now that we're engaged, I said that I wanted to move here to live together for a while before we decided the wedding date. He said that we could do it or we could get our own house now because we will have to do it regardless. I asked what was wrong with this one and he said nothing, but that it was her daughter's. To be honest, now I did get a little mad. I said it wasn't fair. He called it his daughter's when we were about to get married and he was supposed to adopt my son, so now the house should be theirs and not only hers. I also said I wanted his daughter out of the master because it was ours. He got a little nervous and said that the house really belonged to his late wife and when she passed, the house became his daughter's. He has enough money for maybe 60% of a house, but that we will have to pay off the rest together. I was shocked and said that he could ask her daughter for the house because she's only 15 and he is her dad, but he said no, that it was her daughter's. I got angry and called him a jerk because he should have told me the truth before, and he said that it's not like we will be homeless or anything. We still have 3 years and maybe 4 after that because his daughter will leave for college. He said he has always known he has to move out and that's why he saved. I asked what else belonged to his daughter that I didn't know of and he said that his car, a 2020 Kia, the car that I always use, will be hers when she leaves for college. I called him a jerk again and left with my son to my parents' house. When I told my family, my brother laughed because I talked and acted like a gold digger and called me an aw. I felt betrayed and lied. Am I really ta? I think I'm justified. ETA. He saw the post and asked for his ring back. I guess this isn't a problem anymore. AITA. No need to keep commenting. He'll come tomorrow to get his ring and his car. Things are over. You are the asshole. He told you the house belonged to his daughter. That you chose to not ask what he meant and assumed he really owned it is your own fault. You deceived yourself. It is her inheritance from her dead mother, and you want a share of it. The girl has already lost her mother, but that's not enough. Now you're demanding a share of her inheritance go to people the mother never even met. How can you think that's reasonable? You are the asshole. Your brother is right. You sound like a gold digger. Yes, you are the asshole. Why do you feel entitled to your fiancé's late wife's house? It now belongs to their daughter. Grow up and start sharing financial responsibility with your fiancé. You are the asshole. You are not entitled to his house or his car, and the fact that they are actually his daughters means you are even less entitled to them. Your brother has the correct assessment. Don't marry this man. He and his daughter deserve better than you. You are the asshole. I don't understand how it's lies and betrayal. He did tell you. You just thought it meant something different. You didn't ask for clarification. He didn't offer it. Probably a mistake on both sides, as you should have had that talk before getting engaged. It's a weird situation for sure, but you can't just take his daughter's house from her, so you are the asshole for that. Sure, you aren't getting what you thought you were getting in terms of living space after marriage, but it's that the only reason you were with him? If so, then, yeah, you do sound like a gold digger. If not, then talk to him. There's a lot of talking it seems like you are missing before you get married, so may as well start now. You are the asshole. Your brother appears to be right about you. Quit being possessive over a child's inheritance. If it was left to her, it is hers. Am I the asshole for not inviting my sister's fiancé to my graduation party? So my 22F sister, 24F, recently got engaged to a guy she's been seeing for about a year and a half. Let's call him David. I've never liked David. Literally from the moment my sister brought him home to meet us for the first time, every single one of us disliked him. He was just a very rude guy who didn't seem to have any manners at all. Literally the first time I met him, he said my sister got all the looks in the family as a joke. My sister stopped telling me anything about him because she knew I don't like him and will probably talk shit. But 3 months ago or so, we found out he cheated on her with his ex, who also happens to be the mother of 3 of his kids. She packed her stuff and left him for about a day. Although I was devastated for her, I was so happy she found the strength to leave him and know she deserved better. Literally not even 24 hours later, he proposed to her. Gave her a speech about how much he loves her and can't see his life without her, and she cried of joy and said yes. Sigh. Anyway, I'm having my graduation party in 2 weeks. My sister called to ask what she wanted them to bring me as a gift. I asked her who them was, as I already previously told her I never wanted to be around her fiancé. I thought it would be obvious I wouldn't want him at my graduation party. The last time I saw him, we had a fight because my sister sent him to pick something up from my house, but he was busy, so he sent his friend. A friend who I literally exposed for stalking me when I was in high school. He used to harass me to date him and would literally drive to my high school to stare at me for a while, then leave. I had so much anxiety for so many years because of him. David knew damn well this guy used to stalk me when I was in high school, but he still sent him to my house, and now that asshole has my address. When I called him out, he said I was being dramatic and that I like making a big deal out of everything. Anyway, I told my sister I don't want him at my graduation party. She said I was being unreasonable, and that I should understand they come as a pair now. I told her that's completely fine, and that the pair of them can simply not attend my party then. She said I was being a bitch and that after all we've been through as sisters, I'm letting hate win. I feel like I'm quite justified in not wanting him to attend, to be honest. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. There's excluding someone's fiancé because of petty bullshit, and then there's excluding someone's fiancé because said fiancé gave your stalker your home address. If your sister is upset, maybe she shouldn't marry someone who is an ass to her and her family. Not the asshole. But I'm concerned for your sister. Based on your description, her fiancé doesn't exactly sound like much of a winner. I hope she sees the light before walking down the aisle. But if she doesn't see the light and marries him, I hope she doesn't have kids with him. But if she has kids with him, oh, never mind. Not the asshole. David is a fucking loser and you deserve the final say in who you want or don't want at your party. By the way, congratulations on graduating. That's so exciting. Partying face. Not the asshole. It's your graduation party and you get to invite whoever you want. At this point, it's best if your sister doesn't come too. Your sister is being a tool here, and oh boy is she going to regret it a few years down the road when he cheats on her again. Tell her, when David cheats on you again, I will be here for you, with tissue packets in my hand. Not the asshole. Your sister seems to be under a delusion that this guy is a good guy. Can your parents intervene? She's setting herself up for a world of hurt. Not the asshole. It's your party, you get the final word on the guest list. David sounds toxic. I hope your sister ditches this loser before she gets married to him. Am I the asshole for spraying water in my wife's face to wake her up? My wife sleeps like a rock every night. She gets in this very deep sleep and nothing can disturb it. When our twins were babies, she never heard them cry during the night. It didn't bother me until recently. She decided that she was going to wake up early every day as a part of a self-care routine. She sets up 1,000 alarms every 10 minutes from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. She doesn't hear any of them. I, however, am awake since the first alarm at 5 a.m. I wake her up and I can't fall back asleep, so I toss and turn until I have to get up for work. She doesn't wake up immediately after I talk to her. I have to shake her and talk to her constantly until she's up, and I don't mind doing that at 7 a.m., but 5 a.m. is simply cruel. This has been going on for 2 weeks and I am exhausted. Yesterday, I decided I had enough of this bullshit, and when her first alarm went off, I took my water bottle and sprayed water on her face. She was awake instantly, turned off her torture device, phone, and I could go back to sleep. She didn't say anything, so I did it again this morning. She's apparently furious because it's extremely rude to splash her with water, not once but twice. I think it's also extremely rude to keep me sleep deprived, but she disagrees. Edit. 1. She hasn't seen a doctor for it, it has never bothered either one of us. Someone said it might be an ADHD symptom, my wife has ADHD. 2. I expressed hating being up too early, but I haven't warned her about the water, I didn't think the water through. 3. Separate rooms seem to be our solution. And #X200B. Update. I told my wife she was internet famous and she read a lot of the comments. She doesn't want to go to a doctor, but she agreed that waking up at 5 a.m. wasn't sustainable. She's going to switch her self-care routine to 8 a.m. She apologized, I apologized, and we've avoided torturing each other. Not the asshole. The brief discomfort she feels from a little splash of water does not hold a candle to that of being woken up every day at 5 a.m. and having to sit through an hour of non-stop blaring alarms. Jesus, I would die. Not the asshole. Sleep is holy and your wife's bullshit is killing yours. Hours of alarms, because you don't have the discipline to get the fuck up, is just about the most selfish thing imaginable. So be clear with her. She gets one snooze, otherwise, she is going to get the splash. I would suggest you tell your wife she needs to sleep on the couch until she agrees to see a sleep therapist. That is not normal sleep behavior. Not the asshole, but I'd suggest she get looked at by doctor. My husband was the same way, and after a sleep study and some scans they realized he had obstructed nasal passages. Since his nasal passages were swollen and obstructing oxygen when he slept, he wasn't refreshed and sluggish. He got a nose surgery and is a brand new person. He gets proper sleep, good oxygen, and wakes up. Not the asshole. She should learn to get up on her own. Why isn't she doing this anyway? She's an adult. My judgment is reserved until you clarify whether or not you've actually had a conversation about this before going such a drastic route. Because it is rude to spray water in someone's face, but it's also rude and damaging to someone's health to purposely fuck with their sleep schedule. My spouse and I have had to have this convo because we both like to hit snooze but have done so inconsiderately in the past, so now if our snooze wakes the other up, our rule is we don't get to hit snooze again that morning and get up since we disturbed the other person. Am I the asshole for not forcing my daughters into twin stereotypes? So I, 35, have identical twin daughters, 12. My sister, 31, has always been really into twins, especially because of how big Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen were in the 90s. So she always gets my daughters matching stuff, or the exact same thing but in different colors. And has never put into consideration that they're different people with different personalities. Now I'll admit my daughters are very similar and have similar interest, but that doesn't mean they want to be considered a package deal and dress identical like little baby dolls. So yesterday she took them to get a pedicure and get some sandals for a upcoming huge family vacation thing we're doing. Well, my daughters refused to get matching sandals. My sister was disappointed. I told her I didn't blame them, they would get their shoes mixed up if they were exactly the same. And my sister huffed and said I never want them to match. And I told her no, I don't treat them like stereotypical twins who need to be matching and best friends. And then told her it's probably a good thing she doesn't have twins because they wouldn't be able to form her personality. She didn't say anything, but my mom texting me saying it was wrong for me to say what I said to her, but I said that yeah, it was probably stepping out of line, but my girls don't need to fill everyone's twins fantasy. My sister hasn't talked to me, so am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Dressing twins the same is cute and convenient when they're toddlers. Now that they're pre-teens and developing their own personalities, it's entirely reasonable to support them in dressing the way they like. Your sister's obsession sounds a bit weird, and it's really rude of her to keep pressing this after you've explained the situation. Not the asshole. I am an identical twin and the twin stuff forced on me was awful. Loved the birthday gift of a Hello Kitty notebook that was for both of us. I didn't want to match much longer than kindergarten, and I loathed that so many joint things were forced on us. I always just really wanted to be my own person versus being one of the girls. I forget I'm a twin 99% except my birthday when we politely text each other. We don't have the twin connection that people expect us to. I hate that expectation. We really just don't get along. Good for you for working hard to let your girls have their own identities. NTA, she's treating your human children like objects. Not the asshole. Your sister needs to get her head out of the clouds and start treating her nieces like the individual human beings that they are, or they're going to start resenting her at some point. Not the asshole. Your sister needs to respect your kids' individuality. It isn't fair to them at all. The fact that a 31-year-old woman doesn't realize this is absurd. Okay, I'm going to preface this by saying you took it a little too far with the personality comment, but that seems like it was building up for a while, so not the asshole. Your sister needs to start looking at her nieces like individual children. Who cares if they have similar interests? That doesn't make them the same person. If they want to dress alike, that's their deal. They're 12. They're old enough to be aware of the situation and are probably too kind to say anything.